much time did you get with her?
We interviewed over hours and hours over 2 days. And, we took over her house. Sandy Sissel was the cinematographer. And she's amazing at lighting. We had, so what you see is there on the screen is this very kind of natural. We had, if I could have shown you the wide shot of all the equipment and the setup, it would have been something else.
But in a way, though, that's not that much time. I mean, 2 days is yes, you can have a lot of time to ask questions, but it's how much prep there's to be so you don't go, oh, God, I forgot to ask.
There's never enough time. In any project that I've worked on. There's never enough time, because especially when you're working over something over years and years and years. And for instance, it's one of the things for the trial, people are always want to know more details about what happened, more details about what happened. And what I found is that there is no detail that will satisfy you depending on what your point of view is. That there are two theories of the crime, and one of those theories will work for you, but there's not one detail that is provable that can answer every question. It's something about the 70s that is wonderful and maddening. One of the things I'm very proud of is the people that lived through it, several of the Black Panthers, Kathleen Cleaver, they said, you captured that so beautifully. When I watch it, it feels like I'm being transported back. That, there was so much fear and there was so much anger and that whole on the need to know basis. There was also so much not knowing exactly what's going on.
Well, that's something actually I was really curious about in terms of the not knowing. Was there any ever discussion in terms of, the theory that, that the prosecution house was that, she was madly in love and that's why she did this, gave him the guns. Exactly, did she ever discuss exactly what she, from her point of view, took place?
She didn't like to speculate. Her answer in some ways, and it's something, of course, we discussed. So for the bloggers out there who assume that perhaps I didn't ask, not after 17 years of working in the business. But, just in the way with Rochelle Meggie, she didn't want to sever the case. I think that she never wanted to say Jonathan took the guns. And there were examples earlier in the summer where he had borrowed her car without her knowing, and the police wanted to say that he stole the car, and she wouldn't say that he stole the car. And so the guns, he was like her younger brother. They had the Soledad brother's house in LA and also in San Francisco, and there were a handful of people that had access, and so these are things that happen. Will she say that he took the guns? I don't know, but she didn't give him the guns. And I really felt like even her saying, well, that's not something I would do, I wish I had seen the signs sooner, and I understand what his impulse was. So she wants to intellectualize everything, as she does in the end when, she wins her freedom. And at the press conference, I don't know anybody who wouldn't be like, woo, I'm so excited. This is the happiest day of my life. But she takes this as a teaching moment. She goes further to talk about how the government can't be trusted to a priori the truth, her whole spiel. And I'm like, that is a teaching moment? Are you kidding me? And in fact, her lawyers had talked about that. The reason they put her on the stand is that she doesn't answer yes/no questions. And so you have a subject that you have a responsibility to kind of reveal who they are. And I think that that's the thing the film does better than anything else, is that for me, Angela was a figure, an icon. She was unknowable. And what I hope the film does, my objective was to ask the question is how somebody, this intellectual, this basically grad student nerd, she'd hate that description, becomes an international political icon. How is that possible? What are the things that happen in between? And to make her more knowable than just to be the two-dimensional image on a T-shirt. So, this is not a film about all her activism post-1972. This is how she becomes Angela Davis, the icon.